my family scared them away. I just wish there was some way I can make them understand how embarrassing they are.
Welcome back to Diane. Erica, it's time for Mario's little confession.
Erica, you know I love you, but I gotta come clean. I'm not really a man. I'm a woman.
Oh my God, you're a woman?
Well, actually, I'm not really a woman. I'm a horse.
Oh my God, you're a horse?
Actually, I'm not really a horse. I'm a broom.
Okay. So, how do you feel?
To be honest with you, Diane, I'm surprised.
So, just before the break, we were talking about the fears that hold people back. And that is obviously culturally attuned to the circumstances that you live in. If only 1 out of 10 people is in a position to know that they need to change, how can we take, for example, the 7th and the 8th person and lead them? Because, so in my experience, there are complete no-goers, there are the people that do it, and there's people on the edges that skirt around the idea of doing something. How do we reach those? Because they're going to be watching this video, and how do we get them to understand the opportunity?
Testimonials.
Say
people
again?
that have, I would say testimonials, people who have gone through the past, and then when there is the mirror effect. So Catherine and Sharon are, and I think Anusri as well, are very much into women. So women that will watch this, they might say, okay, this kind of ladies, I have faced this kind of issue. I am in the same situation. So maybe they could help me. And I realized that's the only way to get people, because you cannot convince someone who doesn't want to get help or doesn't realize you could help them. So it needs to be done by third parties.
So are you talking about a testimonial, video testimonial, or are you talking about that it's the two ladies offering the services here?
I'm saying, for example, the person I'm helping came by word of mouth.
Right.
Always. It's always because someone told them, Nicholas helped me for this. He was a great support for this problem I had. You are facing a similar problem. Go to talk to him and see what he can do. And I believe that works.
So how true is that for you, Shirin?
Can I just go back on one thing?
Please.
If that's possible. I want to go back. You asked a question before about how can we change young kids' minds? And I just kind of transported myself back to that child. And I think that superheroes are what children want to be when they're younger. And so by creating places, for visual memory, we want to have these very, very clearly out there with messages that are going to help kids understand that this is a way that may be helpful for them. But also to have teachers in the space where they're asking children questions rather than that teaching them, but rather eliciting. So that creation of eliciting, they need to learn. But how do you teach a child? I mean, how do you teach a child about a dog? What do children do? Mothers don't say, no, when the child says, oh, cat, and it's a dog. The mother goes, yes, that's a dog. So what happens is the child learns, I'm not wrong. I've got some of the stuff right. And they are very quick to notice, okay, she said something's different from me. So there's enough difference that they notice. And I think that part of that is we need, instead of just teaching them to be visual learners, we've got to give them how they can be their own superhero. And also, how do we clarify that in a way of understanding what that is? So we've got to really encourage that mental agility that they're able to connect with that, but also to moderate so that their sense of just being the superhero and not doing anything else isn't going to override their real creativity, which is about being able to be a functional human being in the world and meet their potential. So for me, that was really something that just sort of jumped up, because I remembered I always wanted to be the helper and be like the superhero. So I think that this is kind of fitting in here, which is when we have role models, when we have people that are out there saying, hey, this is what I've done. This is where I was. This is where I am now. And I never thought I'd make it, and you might not think that you can make it, but you know what? I trust that you can. I trust that you can, and we'll help you. So if we can create a space where more and more of us are able to see those things, and like Nicholas said, it is a testimonial, but it's a different kind of testimonial. It's a testimonial of us testifying for ourselves and the potential possibility for someone else. So that's the testimony that we are talking about, and the more we do that, and the more role models we have, more we give testimony and truth to that possibility. Because I think as we talked about the idea of culture creates that block, and we have to break through that. And the only way we can do that is through the story, changing the story that we're all carrying.
So for you, the clients, if you can think of maybe the last 10, how many out of that last 10 were referred to you by a previous client or contact?
The
reason I asked
quite a few, and that's what Nicholas says, quite a few. But I also get a lot of people coming via the website, and via what I talk about. So I think that maybe they're in a state of readiness, but I also think that we need to move. Most people are in pre-contemplation. They know something's not working, but they're not ready to do it yet, and they can't see possibility yet. Is the pain enough, as you were saying earlier, that will allow them to take action and to take consistent action? Yeah, because you're going to have challenges along the way. So I really do think that part and parcel of that is that 10%, or that those 7, 8, 9, they're the ones that are probably experiencing the discomfort enough, and they need just enough courage, just enough potential possibility that it's possible for them. They're more likely to jump. I think the 1s and 2s, they are going to struggle because they're still caught up in that locked mindset. They're still caught up in that cultural bringing, and they can't yet see how they can do it. And all they can see are those saboteurs. Yeah. And until we can, and like in any brain change, you need to have enough activation before you can move to the next level. So until they've had enough proof, there's still people that believe that the earth is flat. Yes. That's what we're going to say. We know that's not true, but they still believe it. So they haven't had enough activation in the area of what they're not hearing for them to actually begin to go, well, maybe I might be a little wrong.
Okay.
Maybe. How much more truth do I need before I'm willing to actually change?